then every other thing can happen. But if we don't talk, we don't even know what is going on. People in the diaspora, particularly those of them that have their generation came through this horrible journey known as the transatlantic slave trade, they don't know what is Africa. They don't know about the Library of Timbuktu with nearly 1,000 manuscripts. They have never been told. They don't know that there is the ancient War of Benin. They don't know that there are more pyramids in Black Africa than Egypt, even though Egypt is actually Black Africa, but thanks to European pseudoscience and their manipulation, they try to make Egypt a white civilization. But they didn't. They were not able to cut out Egypt and put it maybe in Europe or the other part of the world. But even that, let's even give it to them. Egypt is European, so that they can be happy.
Yeah.
But there are more pyramids in a land where you have Black people than in Egypt. We don't know that. So that is why I'm saying that as scholar, especially as scholar living in the 21st century, okay, let me say living in 2025, you have absolutely no excuse not to learn about your root in Africa.
We don't know about the universities there and how we don't know how educated the people are there. We don't know all of the excellence that's going on there. We haven't been told it. We haven't seen it. We don't know about it. And so there's a prejudice against it. Like we don't know that, we don't know. We haven't seen it. We only know what we've been told.
All right. And that places a lot of responsibility on those that are coming from Africa to sort of expose more. And that is also in favor of the work that we are doing, DMT, which is the Diaspora Memorial and Tourism Exchange, where we are telling the people of African descent, let's meet, let's talk. We are starting from there, let's talk. Everything starts from talking. Yesterday, in our audio room event, talking about agribusiness, I said, the first thing to do is to talk. Then every other thing can happen. But if we don't talk, we don't even know what is going on. Like you're saying, people in the diaspora, particularly those of them that have their generation came through this horrible journey known as the transatlantic slave trade, they don't know what is Africa. They don't know about the Library of Timbuktu with nearly 1,000 manuscripts. They have never been told. They don't know that there is the ancient War of Benin. They don't know that there are more pyramids in Black Africa than Egypt, even though Egypt is actually Black Africa, but thanks to European pseudoscience and their manipulation, they try to make Egypt a white civilization. But they didn't. They were not able to cut out Egypt and put it maybe in Europe or the other part of the world. But even that, let's even give it to them. Egypt is European, so that they can be happy.
Yeah.
But there are more pyramids in a land where you have Black people than in Egypt. We don't know that. So that is why I'm saying that as scholar, especially as scholar living in the 21st century, okay, let me say living in 2025, you have absolutely no excuse not to learn about your root in Africa. That is also another thing that we are doing with Project DMT. You don't need to read about ancient Zimbabwe. We will take you there. Let's go. Let's go to ancient Zimbabwe. Let's speak the local language there to explain to you who were the builder of the great ruins of Zimbabwe. We want to go to Ghana. We don't want to read it in books. Go there, see what is happening there. There are a lot of festivals in Africa. For example, the Igwe Festival in Benin. You don't need to read it in a book. It's not enough. Get ready. Let's go to Benin.
Yes.
And when we get to Benin, somebody will explain to you in Benin language what is the meaning of Igwe Festival. We do the same in Lagos. So what we are saying is that we have the possibility of able to overcome the ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly, we have the possibility of able to tell the European who will do the middleman between the diaspora and Africa that, hey, don't worry, I will take care of myself.
Yes.
You can move from New York to Lagos. You don't need anybody to teach you. In Nigeria, we speak English. I can talk to you. You don't need an interpreter.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to Cameroon, go to Congo, go to Ethiopia. You don't need any interpreter. People will talk to you the same way they will talk to you in New York or Sydney. So if you are really interested, join us. Let's do this work. Let's learn about ourselves. Let's start to talk first. Yeah.
Yes.
If you want to say something there, please go.
Yes. This is good. I think this is I think we need this. I think we need this because especially when I'm looking at America right now, and I'm looking at I'm looking at the people who are suffering. I'm looking at the low socioeconomic group. I think they need hope. They need to remember, they need to learn, not remember, they need to learn that they came from greatness. Instead of the burden of, we've always been poor. We never had nothing. We never had land. We never have nothing. And that burden is really keeping people in, as we said, the ghetto frame of mind. And that keeping people in that ghetto frame of mind only serves one system. So we need that. I think that's because I had this theory, right, with I think it's called the threshing ground. Like when you take the corn and you shift it and the wheat and everything that gets left on the ground. And I was saying that we need to look at our communities. Whatever is on the ground is showing you the health of your community. And like right now, like for the Bahamas, we have a lot of mental illness. We have a lot of young men who they lost hope. They lost hope to drugs and all these things. And it's like, so our young men are really falling into ruin because they've lost hope. They've lost hope. And I think they need to know that they came from great people and it was not, our doing that. We start out with nothing. And that's the thing. It's like we're in a community where we're living in society where we built everything that's here, but yet you don't own anything. It still belongs to them. And then you're looked down upon to say, oh, you don't have anything and you're poor. You don't have any land and you're poor. You're uneducated. Yes, I'm uneducated because, my Grammy never went to school because I think my great-grandmother's mother was a slave. I think that's how the story goes. My great-grandmother's mother was a slave. That's how close it is. So, no, we don't land. No, we don't have generations and generations of people who went to school. Our lineage is filled with trauma that we need to get over with. So
but we can start the healing process. We can start the healing.
Heal. We need to heal.
Yeah. Please go on.
We need to heal. It's I'm going to call it because that's one of the scriptures I read this morning. It was talking about the remnant, and we're pretty much like that. This is pretty much like the Egypt story. People taken from their land, forced to work, and